experienced God's miraculous healing grace after falling and breaking his neck and his heart, his back and our hearts. He called me on Siblings Day, which I didn't know existed, to tell me how much he loved me as his only sibling. This has triggered a lifetime of wonderful memories. I'm very grateful I was to God for him and our families. Alan fell in love with my best friend, Bobby, who still is and always will be my best friend. I'm a blessed woman, lost a brother. Everyone respected and loved so much. He was a businessman and entrepreneur from birth with his little red wagon, ice cream truck, hot dog truck, etc., which developed and flourished with his Bobby and family into an often award-winning E&A Supply Incorporated. Sweet dreams, my precious and only sibling, as you rest safely in the arms of God, where there is no more pain, sorrow, or tears. Love, Pinhead.
Now, because it's so cold and my daughter has prepared a lovely 1-hour speech, because she's a writer and she doesn't know restraint, I just want to start off with the outpouring of support and condolences has been remarkable for my dad. He's, we had over 400 comments and phone calls, and I just kind of want to relay some of these for the people that can't be with us today because of the restrictions of Corona, and then I have a couple of thoughts of my own. You'll bear with me. This is from our friend Mike Lax. Big Al was a second dad to me, an amazing self-made man who built businesses, but more importantly, he built a strong and loving family. It feels impossible that he has passed. He was one of those people you felt could survive anything. I will always have great memories of summers at the pool, of getting to be a part of an amazing family he treasured so much. The best was seeing the smile on his face when my kids play at the pool. Quote him, "I love this. This is what it's all about." He was a great man who I loved. I will miss him. Rest in peace, Big Al. They don't build men like you anymore. My kids never got to meet my father, but I am honored that they spent time with you, Big Al. Thoughts and prayers. From cousin Charlene. Dear family, rest in peace, dearest cousin Alan. There are no words to express the hole in our hearts, to say how wonderful a man like Dad, there is no other, and the heartbreak we all feel. Dad will be forever with you all, spirit and hearts and blessing to the lives he touched. Love, kindness, and generosity as you cherish your beautiful memories he loved, and he was so proud of you all. Remembering Dad as a young teenager with Mom, he sold hot dogs up at Lake Kapakog and worked so hard and built everything. From Lisa Sklar, cousin, tragic loss, such an incredible man. I'll treasure the memories forever. My deepest sympathy goes to you all. My cousin Ellen, she just heard the sad news. We loved your dad. He and your mom have always been so wonderful to us. Convey our heartfelt condolences to the family. My heart aches for all of you, and I wish I could hug you all. My girlfriend Holly, and I offer my sincerest and deepest sympathies. There was a time when I would call him Dad too, and he couldn't tell our voices apart on the phone. When I called, he was always a positive, happy, and fun person, and I was honored to be part of the clan. May his life be for a blessing. I have the fondest memories with you and your family. He always made us laugh. She sent me his famous tutu picture. If anybody's been to our house, you know this picture. She said, he is now truly with the angels. This is from my daughter's girlfriend, Jenna. My condolences to you and your family. Your grandpa was one of the nicest people I had the pleasure of knowing. He treated me like I was a member of the family the moment we first met, which makes me happy that I got to see your grandparents that last night at Crispy Pizza. My heart breaks for you and your mom. My cousin Shanna. Words cannot express how sad this is. Know that my prayers are with you. He was such a wonderful, decent, and loving person. My cousin Lisa and Ken. We're so incredibly sorry and sad. Sending love and prayers. Uncle Al will be missed by all who had the pleasure of knowing him. He always made you feel like you were the most important person in the room. My love goes out to you, Lori and Linda and the rest of the family. Alan was one of those rare, special people who was loved and respected by anyone who knew him. He was a big, imposing man with a kind and generous heart. My late sister Bobby, made these beautiful artsy birthday cards on oak tag. It took her 3 to 4 days sometimes to make one, and they were expensive. Anyone who ever got them kept them because they were too beautiful to throw away. Alan asked her to make one of these beautiful cards for a friend. After a few days, a box arrived, and when my sister Bobby opened it, there was all manner of art supplies and an envelope for $100. That was my generous cousin Alan. And she speaks about my dad's 80th birthday party. Some friends in the food service industry. Al was the nicest man I ever met. He was a mensch. Fred Cypress. Dan Frigo. Very sad to hear this. Hoping they have Eli's cheesecake up in heaven for you, Al. Godspeed. Jordan Singer. Condolences. A world-class gentleman in business and in life. Something the world has very few of. Lynn Schultz and Bart, her husband. We are so very sorry to hear about your father. He was a kind, genuine man with a big smile and a bigger heart. He made everyone feel good and was kind to us from the first time we entered into the industry. He will always have a very special place in our hearts. Thank you for allowing me to read that. Thank you to everyone to come and honor my father and those who are watching virtually. We were also lucky to be a part of his world. My dad led an amazing life. My dad was proud to call himself an entrepreneur, as you've heard, which started at age 5 when he would take his little red wagon on the beach and collect bottles for a nickel. I was told that one time my grandmother came home from the grocery store, put everything in the freezer. He went downstairs and sold all the groceries out front of the house. With his sister Linda, they sold hot dogs up at Lake Hopatcong, which eventually led to the whole family with the hotel kitchen concession. He had an ice cream truck, owned several garages, a sub shop named Fred and Barney's with his cousin Herbie, Al's Party Center, and finally E&A Supply. There has been an outpouring of kind messages and condolences from his peers in the food service industry, which would have meant so much for my dad. He truly loved meeting other dealers across the country and not only learning from them, but also teaching them what he had learned over the years, building relationships over a 50-year career in the restaurant industry. Family meant everything to him. We spent every holiday, birthday, and most weekends in the summer together. We worked together, and most nights we'd go out to dinner together. We just loved being together. Sometimes I would hear about a great restaurant or a funky little barbecue joint, and I'd say, "Dad, road trip!" And off we'd go. He loved life, loved work, and mostly he loved his family and grandchildren, and he will be truly missed. Thank you.
Adam put together some words that I'm going to read now. At this solemn time, I am overwhelmed with emotion and grief of passing of a dear family member. It is so hard to put into words a lifetime of memories, long talks, and times we spent together. I worked with him for over 26 years. You were my boss at work, my father-in-law, and my friend all the time. You helped and taught me the industry and passed on your life experiences and hard work ethics. I always had the utmost respect, admiration, and most of all, love for you. I will always remember the times we spent together as a family at work, Disney World, and road trips. I know I am being repetitious, but one thing that will always stick in my mind was his love for good barbecue and a hot dog. I and Lori would tell him about a great restaurant we heard of, and the first thing he would say is, "When are we going?" He would travel 50, 60, 100 miles just to try a barbecue place or a good hot dog. There is a song from the movie For the Boys that Bette Midler sang that I know you loved and was one of his favorites. I just wanted to quote because it sums up my feelings about my father-in-law, Al. It goes, quote, "When my life is through and the angels ask me to recall the thrill of it all, I will tell them I'll remember you. You will truly be missed. I love you. Rest in peace. Your son-in-law, Al."
Thank you all for coming to honor my dad today. All of us know him as Big Al and big as what he was, in our life and in our hearts. My dad could light up a room just by smiling, and that is the way he should be remembered. I started working with my dad from the time I was 4 years old. It started with me driving in the old Bon Ton potato chip truck while sitting on his lap, while he ate a sack of White Castle hamburgers in his right hand and drinking a chocolate milkshake in his left hand, while eating 5 onion rings off those 5 fingers on the left hand. He worked the gas, the brakes, the clutch while I drove the truck. The setting up of things to come. I worked every day for 40 years with my dad. Who else could say that? Every day was an adventure. From wheeling and dealing to his side deals with the vendors to the grab everything that's not nailed down at the trade shows, Big Al was one of a kind. But with such a cowboy, or some would say gangster, approach to business, he built a life not only for our family, but for the families he touched. I have thousands of stories I could tell you about my dad, all the business trips we took together, the hundreds of industry people that would fight to take us out just to spend time with us, just to hear our stories of Jersey craziness. Both of us became legends in the minds of the industry, both far and wide. There isn't a food service dealer around the country that didn't know Big Al, and he was always there to help to whoever asked for his advice. I'm glad for everything you taught me, everything you set in motion all those years ago. Now it's time to show my boys how to live life, just how you showed me. God help them. So Lisa found this online last night. I'm going to read it to you because it pretty much sums him up. He never looked for praises. He was never one to boast. He just went on quietly working for the ones he loved the most. His dreams were seldom spoken. His wants were very few. And most of the time his worries went unspoken too. He was there, a firm foundation through all our storms of life. A sturdy hand to hold on to in times of stress and strife. A true friend we could turn to when times were good or bad. One of our greatest blessings, the man we call Dad.
Thank you to everyone who came today, both family in person and family afar. I know how hard it must be to grieve in our own homes, in our own ways, but nothing, no virus or pandemic can stop the feeling of togetherness that I have felt in these past few days. The outpour of messages, calls, well wishes, and condolences that have flooded my and my family's phones have been monumental. There is sadness, yes. There is always sadness when we lose someone close to us, but there is also love. I have heard that grief is just love that has forgotten its path home. There can be no grief without immense and passionate love. I loved my grandpa deeply. I could not recall anyone who didn't meet him and instantly fall in love with him. He was boisterous and full of life, always recounting his various adventures from growing up near Coney Island, to owning his own ice cream truck, to opening his own various businesses, and to starting his own family. He lived a full life, and the amount of people here today is proof that that life was full of love. Normally at these events, you share your happiest or fondest memories, to which I have too many to pick from. Instead, I would like to share my most upsetting memory of my grandfather, as I believe it best sums up who he was at his core beliefs. I was living in Ohio with a previous paramour, who everyone in their right mind could see was wrong for me except for me. We had just moved into a small little shack on the side of the road, where we didn't even have lights in our house, and we had to duck under stairs that weren't even in our apartment to use the kitchen. Grandpa Al called me up in tears, begging me to come home and to break up with him, going as far as to say he would personally pay my portion of the rent every month if I would just pack up my things and move home. At the time, I was furious and angry, but now as I look back on it, I know he was just doing what he thought was right for his family. That memory will always be how I remember my grandfather, a man who cared so much about his family. That memory will always be how I knew him. Love, too much at times. Loving his family was in every molecule and cell of his body. He had so much love in his heart for us that oftentimes he didn't know what to do with it. He just wanted me to come. I often wish I did, and perhaps I could have had more time with him. But as I sat writing this on Saturday, I realized that I did have my time, not in big moments and events, but in small, minuscule acts of love. I'd get out of school every day at 3 p.m., and even though I lived down the street and could have easily taken the bus or walked home, he was there. He was always there to pick me up. He was there for all my recitals, my plays. He drove across the country to go to my graduation, even though he expressly hated Ohio. He was there. In most memories that I have of my family, he was there, beaming in the background, watching his greatest accomplishment flourish and grow up. He loved my mother and my uncle, and he loved my cousins, and I know how much he loved me. Not in big grand speeches, but in acts of kindness and in service. I am so thankful that I was given the chance to be loved by someone like him. To be loved in a way that leads to this amount of growth. I am blessed to be this heartbroken because I have lost something irreplaceable. We have lost him on this earth, but in my heart I know he is not gone. Nulla dice quam memorae vos equimet avo. No day will erase you from the memory of time. Nobody dies if you remember them. Thank you, Grandpa, for giving me a lifetime of memories, good, bad, complex, and simple. But always, always memories of family and memories of love.
This time we will recite the El Mali Rachamim prayer in memory of El. El Mali Rachamim, Shochem Bamromim, Hamitzei Menocha Nechona Tacha Kanfei Ashchina, Im Kedoshim Utehorim, Kazor HaRakia Mazirim, et nishmat Avram Velvil ben Herschel shehalach le'olamo. Bal harachamim yastireu v'seter kanafav le'olamim v'yitzror v'torachayim et nishmato. Adonai hu nachalato v'yanuach b'shalom al mishkavo v'nomar. Amen. Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Alan Green, who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let him find refuge in the shadow of your wings, and let his soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is his inheritance. May he rest in peace, as we say together,
Amen.
one who made my dreams come true. A few kisses ago, I remember you. You're the one who said I love you too. I do, didn't you know? I remember too a distant fair and stars that fell like rain out of the blue. When my life is through and the angels ask me to recall the thrill of them all, then I shall tell them I remember you. Was it in Tahiti? Whoa, 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 whoa. Were we on the Nile? Long ago, say an hour or so. I recall that I saw your smile, and I remember too a distant bell and stars that fell like rain out of the blue. Out of the when my life is through
say.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing Vita Bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. When the stars make you drool, just like a pasta fazool, that's amore. When you dance down the street with a cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore. That's amore.
When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore.
That's amore.
Bells will ring,
Ting-a-ling-a-ling,
ting-a-ling-a-ling.
and you sing Vita Bella.
Vita Bella, Vita Bella. Hearts will play,
Tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella.
Lucky fella. When the stars make it through, just like pasta fazool, that's amore.
That's amore.
When you dance down the street with the cloud at your feet, you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Scusa me, but you see, back in old Napoli, that's amore.
Amore,
That's amore. Return to me, oh my dear, I'm so lonely. Hurry back, oh my love, hurry back, I'm yours. Return to me, for my heart wants you only. Hurry home, won't you please hurry home to my heart. My darling, if I hurt you, I'm sorry. Forgive me, and please say you are mine. Return to me. Please come back, Bella mia. Hurry back, hurry home to my arms, to my lips and my heart. Torna a me, cara mia, ti amo. Solo tu, solo tu, solo tu, solo tu, mio cuore.
somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you. All the way, happy to be near you when you need someone to cheer you. All the way, taller than the tallest trees, that's how it's got to feel. Deeper than the deep blue sea is, that's how deep it goes if it's real. When somebody needs you, it's no good unless he needs you. All the way, through the good or lean years, and for all the in-between years, come what may. Who knows where the road will lead us? Only a fool would say. But if you let me love you, it's for sure I'm gonna love you all the way, all the way. So if you let me love you, it's for sure I'm gonna love you all the way, all the way.
Heaven and paradise, that's where I want to be. Just you and me in heaven and paradise. Ooh, heaven and paradise, that's where I want to be. Just you and me in heaven and paradise. Ooh, paradise. Roses are red, violets are blue. God only knows how I love you. My darling, I love you. I love you so. I'll never let you go. Let you go. Heaven and paradise, that's where I want to be. Just you and me in heaven and paradise. Ooh, paradise. They told me that love was only a game. Nobody really owns love. I tell you that I've gotten my share. Please say you care. Say you care. Heaven and paradise, that's where I want to
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you